Consider this a warning. If everyone continues to ignore Norse Atlantic, just like we all ignored Norwegian Air a few years back, what I'm about to show you may not last all that long. By the time you get to the end of this video, I think you'll agree with me that no, Norse Atlantic does not deserve to die. This is the entrance to the South Terminal at London's Gatwick Airport. Hey everyone, my name is Scott. I'm the guy who writes hellaciously nerdy airline reviews over at SANspotter.com, and yeah, I'm in London. Well, for a few more hours at least. I'm here this morning to catch Norse Atlantic flight number 701 to New York's John F. Kennedy Airport. I'm going to do it in premium class, which, I'll tell you right now, was one of the best decisions I've made in a while. It's also worth telling you that it's exactly the same as what Norwegian Air Premium Class used to be. Y'all remember Norwegian Air, right? That Norwegian-based low-cost long-haul airline that went bust during the pandemic? Well, now it's called Norse Atlantic. Sure, they swear up and down that it's a completely new airline, but everything, right down to the seats and the food, is a direct carryover from Norwegian Air. Something else that's exactly the same? The pre-flight experience here at Gatwick Airport. It kind of sucked then, and yeah, still sucks now. To be fair, the central portion of the South Terminal, post-security, is actually pretty nice. It's a big open space with many shops and restaurants, and it's not really that bad of a place to hang out for an hour or so. The problem is, I've got about 2.5 hours to kill. But Scott, you say, why don't you go hang out in the Norse Atlantic Lounge? To that, I reply, what lounge? This is about as good as it gets when it comes to flying low-cost long-haul. Speaking of which, I figured it was worth spending the money on a big breakfast before the flight because there was really no telling what low-cost, long-haul food is like, if it even exists at all. There's still about an hour to go until they even announce the gate for this flight to New York, and I'm out here wandering the back alleys of the South Terminal in a desperate attempt to kill some time. I know, this seems like pointless footage, but I'm showing this as a courtesy to anyone thinking about flying Norse out of Gatwick. You do not want to show up early. I actually recommend getting out of your comfort zone a bit and maybe delaying your arrival to the airport for as long as possible. Otherwise, well, you might end up like me. Finally. It was starting to feel like this moment would never come, but seeing the gate number for this flight posted 1 hour before scheduled departure time felt good. Like, real good. So yeah, this is my aircraft to New York today. It's a 6-year-old Boeing 787-9, which started life with Norwegian Air back in 2018. It's a little hard to see in these video clips, but I think that I actually prefer the Norse Atlantic livery over the Norwegian Air livery. I don't know. It just looks cleaner. Gate 34 is where we will be departing from today, and the lack of passengers here in the waiting area leads me to believe that this is either going to be an extremely light load, or, just maybe, most everyone else didn't survive the Gatwick ground experience. This actually felt more like queuing up for a flight on a regional jet rather than a Boeing 787, but it seems to me that Norse Atlantic has inherited some of Norwegian Air's load factor problems as well. Now, this is what I call proper premium economy. It's actually hard to believe that this is a long-haul, low-cost airline. And for anyone not aware of the full history here, these seats are nothing new. Other than the Norse headrest covers, this is a direct carryover from Norwegian Air Premium Class, and yeah, it's very much the same thing. And I'm not even kidding about this being legit premium economy. It's got all the amenities you would expect, plus a ridiculous amount of legroom, even more than what you saw in my recent Air France A350 Premium Economy review. And I do believe that this is the most spacious long-haul Premium Economy seat that I've ever experienced. I think it was at this moment that I actually started to feel a little bit bad about what I said about the Gatwick Airport South Terminal ground experience. Maybe it was worth it all along. Check this out. I wasn't even expecting power outlets, let alone highly adjustable seats with retractable leg rests. With premium seats like these, how the hell did Norwegian Air ever struggle to be profitable? This is nuts, in a good way. Speaking of doomed airlines, it looks like I've got an entire row of seats to myself today. Cool. One of the best things about extremely light passenger loads? Early departures. They actually shut the boarding door 12 minutes early, which I do believe may be a record for me. At the very least, it made me slightly less annoyed about showing up so early to the airport this morning. I guess I really did know what I was doing. Sort of. Anyway, since I don't have any views of the departure to show you from my aisle seat in this center section, I'm going to take this opportunity to let you know that I've actually got a lot of other airline reviews over on my blog, SANspotter.com, that you won't see here on YouTube. Basically, I'm the guy who has you covered with quality airline reading material for your next spirited bathroom break. Scheduled flying time over to New York today is a scant 7 hours and 44 minutes. That's a damn shame considering how comfortable I am at the moment. I mean, how come this sort of thing never happens on flights pushing 15 hours? Oh well. Oh, they did come down the aisle with amenities just after takeoff, consisting of earplugs and an eye mask. And this was my happy accident moment, realizing, by total chance, that there are actually video screens located in the center armrests. Well then, this certainly kicks things up a notch. Not only did I assume that there would be no video entertainment on this flight, I was actually totally cool with it considering the low-cost, long-haul thing. And it's like a real video screen with USB ports and headphone jacks. Not that the headphones are anything to jump up and down about, but their mere existence is a plus. Actually, they kind of sucked, but I'm not going to dwell on it considering my winning of the seat lottery today. Those of you who have made it this deep into the video are probably curious to see what the meal service, if it even exists, is like. Okay, first of all, yes, it exists. More importantly, it actually looks like a fairly decent tray of airplane food, doesn't it? I think I pre-ordered this when I booked a flight. Can't quite remember. So, technically, I guess if I don't like it, it's on me. If these biodegradable utensils look familiar, it's because they're the same ones that were used on Norwegian Air, I believe. But yeah, this is far more of a substantial meal than I was expecting. As a matter of fact, it's a lot better than what you'd get in economy class on many other airlines these days, at least long haul. Quality isn't actually the best, but it tasted all right, which I guess is what matters most. Let's just say that I was more intrigued by the biodegradable utensils. If I had to give this a score, I'm going to go with a 6 out of 10. The portions were generous, it looked presentable, and it was just about as good as anything that I could whip up for myself at home, so I certainly wouldn't call this terrible. I think the fact that it was unexpected is what made it so good. Let that be a note to other airlines who are hoping to get me to say something nice about them in my next video. I'm a sucker for unexpected delights. Now, this is the life. Not only do I have one of the best movies of all time just getting started, I just discovered the usefulness of that retractable leg rest. Things could certainly be worse. I'm not normally a fan of leg rests in airline seats, but this one actually has some meat to it and is quite supportive. Would you believe me if I told you that the blanket was almost as nice as the one I recently experienced in ANA Premium Economy? It's true. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm about to lay back, relax, and enjoy some of that high-quality in-flight entertainment. This is a toilet, which just so happened to look like nearly every other 787 toilet that I've ever seen. I'm not surprised one bit that the premium class lavatory is about as basic as it gets. Well, except for this mood lighting. I mean, they're not that cheap. I kind of figured it was worth having a look around while I was up, and yeah, this was giving me vivid flashbacks to my Norwegian Air economy experience in 2019. Exactly nothing has changed back here since the Norwegian Air days, and I guess that's not a bad thing considering how much I enjoyed my flight with them from London to Los Angeles. Another thing that hasn't changed is the food-on-demand service available throughout the entire flight, which is pretty convenient actually. I saw a lot of people taking advantage of this. But there ain't no need for that here in premium class though. The flight attendants were very active the entire time, and nobody ever had to wait that long for a drink refill or another snack. My only complaint now is that Dumb and Dumber is over, and there's still 4 whole hours to go. What the hell am I gonna do now? Interesting. I guess I wasn't expecting to see the meal cart come down the aisle again. We're actually gonna get a pre-landing meal. Once again, they have surprised me with a full tray of food that I was not expecting. It's twice now. It was a slightly lighter meal this time, consisting of what looks to be something quiche-like and a salad to go along with it. And you know what? It was actually really good. I know it doesn't look like much, but it was very fresh, quite tasty, and the perfect thing to give me just a little boost of energy before landing in New York. I'd say that the most notable thing about the meal service was that I'd still have very nice things to say about this experience, even if they didn't feed us again. No lie, I was fully prepared to declare this an awesome flight even before I saw that food cart. So, now that I am fully nourished, let's jump into the next section and do exactly that. Did you happen to notice the mellow music for the second half of this review? That was on purpose. Basically, this was one of the most comfortable and relaxing long-haul flights I've had in a good long while. Yeah, I know, the extremely light load factor probably had a lot to do with that, but I'm here to tell you that Norse Atlantic 7879 Premium Economy absolutely needs to be one of the options for your next trip between the US and Europe, or vice versa. I enjoy this a lot more than Air France A350 Premium Economy. It was even better than both my Lufthansa and British Airways A350 Premium Economy experiences. The sad thing, and I know this might sound overly negative, is that I'm not all that optimistic about the chances of Norse Atlantic surviving long term. They just don't seem to have the brand recognition to be a major player in the transatlantic game, in my opinion. Not only that, if Norwegian Air wasn't able to survive, what makes them think that Norse will do any better? It's the exact same airline offering the exact same product, for crying out loud. We can certainly prevent that from happening though. You just have to give Norse Atlantic a try. Pretty please, because, well, the more airlines we have competing against each other is better for everyone, in my opinion. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.